Hi there, this is Craig from Rock Guitar Training. What we're going to do in this video is look at the 12th lick from the Rock Licks Booster course. Now this is an interesting lick because it uses absolutely no pick motions whatsoever, so the entire lick's played with tapping and hammer-ons and pull-offs. So what we'll do now is we'll zoom in a bit closer and I'll take you through the lick. Now that I've zoomed in a little bit, what I'm going to do now is play the lick to the metronome at two different speeds, 50 beats per minute and 100 beats per minute. And after I've done that, I'll talk a little bit about the lick. So let's start off with the 50 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that was 50, let's now do 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is a really neat little lick, and the cool thing about it is it's entirely based around one arpeggio shape, a G major 7 arpeggio. Now if you don't know the theory behind major 7th arpeggios, don't worry about it. I don't really want to go into detail in this lesson, but the cool thing is once you learn it with this arpeggio shape, you can easily adapt it to other arpeggio shapes. So let's take a look at the notes that this lick uses. The cool thing is it only uses really 5 different notes. We're going to be playing the F sharp with our first finger at the 7th fret on the B string, and then we'll play the 8th fret with our second finger, which is a G note. That's the root note of the arpeggio. And then we go to the thin E string and play the B note at the 7th fret with our first finger. And then we play the D note with our little finger. And that's at the 10th fret. So the left hand's playing those 4 notes, and with the right hand we'll be tapping the 14th fret note on the thin E string. And that's an F sharp note. So what I recommend doing is before you learn the lick itself, maybe you could memorize those note locations. So we've got the 7-8 on the B string, 7-10 on the thin E string, and then we're tapping the 14th fret. Now one really challenging thing about this lick is because it's got no picking, it means that we have to use a technique called hammer-ons from nowhere. And what that means is we'll be basically having to chain strings using a hammer-on. So I'll show you what I mean. Like the first place it happens in the lick is if we've just played the 7th fret note with our first finger, what we then have to do is hammer on to the 8th fret on the B string with our second finger. So it looks like this. So I'll do that again. So it's really worthwhile just practicing that in isolation. Now the next place in the lick that happens is actually going from the G note back to the B note. So we do this. So what I really recommend doing is making these 2 notes a little exercise. So I'll show you what I mean. What I'm going to do is just hammer on back and forward between the G note and the B note. Now if you can get that clean, then you're going to have no problems with the lick. So let's break down the lick a little bit more. So basically it uses 2 8-note patterns. So the first pattern will be starting from the F sharp note, and then we'll be descending through the entire arpeggio and then going back up. So it's like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, I'm not picking any notes. All the notes are either played with a hammer on or a pull-off. And this is one of my favourite patterns because it's fairly easy to play fast once you get the hang of it. So I'll show you what I mean. Now the second half of the lick uses another 8-note pattern, and this one involves what I call a double tap. And I'll just play it for you so you can hear what it sounds. And I'll do it again. So you can hear the double tap. So we're tapping the 14th fret, pulling off to the 10th fret, and we're tapping it again and then pulling it off again. So I'll play the whole lick very, very slowly a couple of times. Now I should say here that if you found any of what I've talked about a bit confusing on this video, what I recommend doing is going to my website now, because I've written up a lesson which includes text, and I've also written up some tablature which has the exact notes that I'm playing written out in tab. Oh well, that's about it for now. Enjoy the lick. As I mentioned earlier, if you're unsure of how to play the lick from just the video alone, what I recommend doing is going to my website and checking out the full lesson. So I've included text and tablature, so if you can't get everything from the video, then the rest of the lesson should help you a lot.